Hey guys, Sandy Fam here. So today I'm going to be talking about a couple different things. First up, we are going to be talking about how to use the Haakaa or the Nature Bond or whatever version you might be using. It's basically like a newer version of a milk saver. Not sure if any of you have ever heard of those or used those, but basically it's just a little cup that's going to catch whatever comes out as your baby nurses on the other side. Now you can use this by itself, you can use it while nursing, you can use it while pumping on the other side. I have a manual pump, and I know at the beginning I was doing the manual pump with the Haakaa. I just wanted to make sure I had enough supply. But basically, so first let's talk about the Haakaa. In this video, I'm going to be using the Nature Bond version. Why? Well, when I was pregnant expecting Miss Carmelina, I went online to Amazon and I read the reviews. The reviews are pretty similar, but I guess just based on the details that people had commented, I decided to go with the Nature Bond version. I do like that with the Haakaa, it has a little cap that you can put in there so that it doesn't tip over. Thankfully, I have never had my Nature Bond one tip over, so we are safe in that area there. So I just rinsed it out and I let it air dry, so there are some water spots on it. But this is the Nature Bond version. You can see it's just like, I believe it's made of silicone, but basically you would put it on the opposite one, or you can do it, like I said, one at a time. Just do it by itself, even if nothing is happening on the other breast. I do notice that if I do it while nursing, as letdown happens, I do tend to get more, and I have nearly filled this thing up many times. You do have to be careful as baby is aging, especially around, I want to say anything over like 3 to 4 months, because she was just kicking so much and I was so worried that I was going to end up with a lap full of breast milk. The last thing that I wanted was for her to kick this off and all of our liquid gold to go to waste, because as any nursing mama knows, it is so hard to produce breast milk, and even if you're an amazing producer, the process itself is very hard. You're constantly giving up your life and your body to nurture and nourish your baby. So as baby becomes more active, just be extra careful, extra vigilant that they don't accidentally hit or kick. Kicking was the main thing, because I don't think at that point her arms were long enough to reach it. But you don't want them to kick it off. Also, don't know if this is necessary, but as it gets full, I just took it off and I would drain it into a bottle. If you're going to use it soon, you can leave it out. Otherwise, if you are not going to use it soon, you can freeze it or put it in the fridge. So basically, like I said, once it gets too full, I was just worried that it would lose its suction and come off, and I would again spill it all over the place. So just for me, for some peace of mind, I would just empty it and then start again. Now, I have had some people tell me that they did not have a good experience with this, but once I told them how I was latching it, they were like, oh. So basically, what are you doing? Now she wants to play. What I do, what I've seen in YouTube videos, I should say, is you bend this. I don't know if I can do it with one hand. You're gonna bend it back like that. Can you see? Okay, and then people were squeezing it, putting on the breast. I take that one step further. I put my thumb right here, anywhere really, push all the way in, and then use the fingers on the side, so to just literally squeeze it so there's as little air as possible inside of your Haakaa or your Nature Bond or whatever type of milk saver you are using. And then you can go ahead, I'm gonna do it down here just because I have my extra hand. It's not gonna stay. It's like one of those tops that would pop up after a few minutes. And then I would go like that, I'd bend it back, apply to the breast, and release. And then you would see that that really helped. Keep in mind,
what's the matter? What's the matter with the baby?
I will say, if you've just had a baby, it is very common that your milk will not just immediately come in. If you are still pregnant, most likely you will not have any milk supply because the milk supply is not necessarily triggered until delivery of the placenta. So until the placenta is delivered, your body does not release the hormone in order to make milk. So if you are pregnant and you want to hand express or use a pump, this is not to be taken as medical advice, but I definitely would not do that unless I was 40 weeks or more. Keep in mind, due dates can be off by as much as 2 weeks, even if you know exactly when it was that you had sex. Even if you are 40 weeks, you think, well, even if it was 2 weeks, 38 weeks, that's okay. Baby most likely would be okay, but a lot of really important brain and lung development happens in those last couple weeks of pregnancy. So you really don't want to mess with that. I've seen providers wanting to induce or do a repeat C-section at 39 weeks, and I really just don't agree with that. It's definitely better to wait, but that's just my opinion. That's also evidence-based as well. So if you are 40 or more weeks and your provider gives you the okay to go ahead and pump, to either build up a little bit of stash of colostrum, you can do like the little, fill up the little syringes of colostrum, or if your provider gives you the okay to try to somehow induce labor, that's what my provider had me do, my midwife. So if your provider gives you the okay to pump, prior to labor, just to try to give things a head start, especially if you are post-term, like 41, 42 weeks. Keep in mind, ACOG recommends induction between week 42 and 42 weeks and 6 days. There's no rush. Baby knew how to form herself literally out of nothing. Look at this. She did that all by herself. Well, in these boobs. But in utero, baby knew how to form its own eyes, its own ears. Definitely don't lose faith in your baby right at the end of the process. Baby knew how to make itself. Baby knows how and when and all the good stuff of when it is ready to release itself and come into the world to join mommy. Yes! Woo! Okay, definitely just trust the process. Trust your body, trust your birth, trust your baby. That's what I always say.